Okay, now let's go back to the syllabus, which I was correcting and making 8:30 to 9:45. I could do this later, and when you see how fast I type, you'll think, why didn't he do it later? But let me do it now. Otherwise, I'll forget it later, okay? See, aren't you glad we're not on the old system? On the old system, you'd be out of here by now. Okay, never mind. No, you're so happy we're still here. All right. I've got to change this. I'll wait and change the room number later. Okay? We'll be in 209. I'll change that. My name is Charles Fowler. That part's correct. I even spelled it right, I think. Okay? My office is in A265. Now, does this room have a map? It doesn't. Okay. So, if you can visually think of where you just were, go down the hall here till you reach the end, to the classroom we just came out of, hang a right, go down a half flight of stairs, and then go almost to the end of that hall. Before you hit the wall, stop, okay? The last door on the left is a stairwell, and the door right before that is room 265, my office. It's right in between the mechanical room, which is a double door room with a noise in it, and then the stairwell. So I'm right in there. That's 265. Are any of you in orientation? Okay. Second, freshman orientation, right across the hall from the classroom for that. Okay. You may not know where that classroom is, but now you got a general idea. Okay. So that's my office. And the reasons are two listed there. Mondays through Thursdays, I'm here on the Bessemer campus. Okay. Now my phone number is 929-3449. Another time out here. I'll tell you my office hours, and in fact, I'll tell you right away what my office hours are. If you're going to call me, please call during my office hours. The reason is, I'm going to get this out of the way too. I have a mild form of leukemia, and I've been under treatment for it, and everything's going really well, except this last drug has just done wonders to knock down the white cells. That's where the malignancy was. And it has done a fantastic job. Best yet. Okay, so I'm hoping it's over with. But I don't know that for sure. We'll have to wait a few months to see. But in dragging down the white cells, it also reduced the red cells. So I'm sort of low of energy a lot. So, and hemoglobin and hematocrits, all low. Platelets, low. But the bad news is the other white cells, one type, and I didn't know all this before I had this, is called neutrophils. And the neutrophils are what fight diseases, and those are also low. In fact, very, very low. I guess it goes after all the white cells. It's supposed to target only the malignant ones, but it hits them all. So to be neutropenic, you need to be less than 1,500. That means low of neutrophils, less than 1,500 per milliliter or whatever they count it by. Before my last treatment, which was 3rd of August, they were 110. So almost no disease fighter at all. Okay. And then they gave me the treatment. Why? And it dropped it even lower. I haven't seen those blood results yet, but they were even lower. Couldn't get much lower, but they were lower. So I caught a cold, and I had almost no defense for it. So last week, the week I would have been getting ready for everything, I was almost flat on my back. And I was so afraid the leukemia was part of that. It helped me catch the cold, and this sounds terrible. The good news, on Thursday, my wife came home from work with the same cold, and it knocked her flat, and she's perfectly healthy. So I was like, it's the cold, not the leukemia. All right, good. So, but anyway, I was still just as sick. But I'm just getting back, and I'm sweating like a horse. I was going to say pig, but they don't sweat. But you might think no, we won't go there. Okay, but it's not that funny. Okay, but anyway, I'm probably running a little bit of a low-grade fever, so if I sort of stay away from you, there's a reason for it. I don't have any defense. Okay, but anyway, I was out last week, and of course the week before was our week off. We don't have any vacation days. We only are off when school's not in session. So I'm way, way behind on voicemails. So please don't leave me a voicemail, okay? I don't know which month or year I'll get to hear it, so it'll probably be way past the fact. So if you are trying to call during my office hours. If I'm not there to answer, just hang up and call back in 5 or 10 minutes. I probably went to the restroom or something like that. So that's my phone number here on this campus, 929-3449. My email address. Now, I'm almost as far behind on emails, but I do check those a little more than I have time to check on voicemail. So you can send me an email. That's cfile@lawsonstate.edu. And by the way, most employees of the college, that's it. First initial, last name, @lawsonstate.edu. Okay? Now, while I'm talking about that, do y'all all know your Lawson State email address? You do. Fantastic. Yesterday's class, about a third of them said it's not working, but it's still not working. Okay, they're working on it, because when I reported it, they said, yeah, we know there's some problem. We contacted Jim, who's the IT person, but I think the whole system has just been overloaded. So they will get them working, but you know what it is. Okay, good. All right, now on Fridays, I'm on the Birmingham campus, the Birmingham West campus. Okay, I'm in office B122. Now, I don't know if any of you know anything about the Birmingham West campus, but if you do find yourself there, the B building is also called the academic building, okay? There's, in the center of the West campus, there's a quad of buildings. The A building, the B building, the C building, and the D building. A building is administration, B building is the academic building, C building is the science building, it's really small, and then the D building is mostly the library. I'm in the B building, okay? It's academic building. And it's 122. It's way on the end toward the gym, the tennis courts, and the baseball field, right at that end. And there's two floors to it. One's the ground floor and one's the first floor. I'm on the first floor, which you go up half a flight of stairs, right at the end. Just ask anybody you see where Dr. Pruitt's office is. He's the academic dean. He's assistant academic dean, been here forever, and everybody knows where his office is. Well, he has a suite of offices. When you first go in, his secretary is right there. He's in the big office in the corner. I'm in the copy room behind the secretary's desk. And they'll know where I am. So that's B122. And my phone number there is 929-6409. Now, on that one, if you don't get me, please don't leave a message, because that's not my phone number, okay? That office belongs to a grant coordinator, but she's only there Monday through Thursdays. So I use her office on Friday, the copy room. And so I don't have access to that voicemail at all. I'll never hear it, okay? Mine is just so full, I don't know when I'll get to it, but at some point I will. Hers, I can't get it all. So don't leave me a message there either. Just call back in a few minutes. The bad thing about Fridays, they love calling meetings, and they don't always tell us they're going to call them until Friday. But if I know, I'll let you know ahead of time. Okay, now let's talk about office hours. On Mondays, I have office hours from 2 to 6. I have a 8 o'clock math, intermediate college algebra class, a 10 o'clock calculus 2 class, a 12:15 calculus 3 class, and then after 2 o'clock, I'm back in the office, 2 to 6. I'm usually here until around 6. Now, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they're the same, so I'll talk about them together. I have this class at 8:30. Then at 10 o'clock, I have a pre-calculus trig. And then at, I did have a linear algebra class. They canceled it yesterday. So that's why I have office hours from 11:15 to 12:15. Because my trig class got over with at, there's something wrong with that picture. Okay. No, it got through at 11:15. And when was my linear algebra class? There's not enough time for it. Anyway, it's gone now, so it's beside the point. I have a physical science class that picks up that 111 class that you were in. It starts at 12:15, and it's a mini-term course with a lab. So that means we're in class 2.5 hours of class. That's 12:15 to 2:45 or 3:45. That's where the problem is. Okay, I may have to change that. I think I've got the hours wrong. I knew something seemed fishy there. Maybe 1:15, that's it. I got it. I'll change it later. It's 1:15 until 11:15 to 1:15. I knew that wasn't time enough. 1:15, that's what I did. Because of the linear algebra class, I had to move the other one back. So it's 1:15 to 3:45, and then the lab from 3:45 to 5:45. So I'm in class from 1:15 for the rest of the afternoon. Gives me a few more office hours, another hour. Now, Wednesday, just like Monday, except I have a physics class on the Birmingham East Campus, and it starts at 4:30, so I have to leave here at 4 to get there in time for the class at 4:30. So that's why it's only 2 to 4 on Wednesdays, and then Thursday will be 11:15 to 1:15. I don't know where my brain was. I don't know. Okay. Fridays, I'm on the Birmingham campus, usually 8 to 12. Well, officially 8 to 12. Okay? I'm almost always there past 12, and I'm probably going to be there before 8. But I'm only supposed to list 4 hours, so that's what I list. Okay. Way longer than it should have been. Okay. Now let's talk about the course description. Okay. This is not something I made up or anyone here at the college made up. This is something, and I know this is pretty small type. Can y'all read it okay from the back? You can't. I'm sorry about that. That's why I'm reading out loud. Okay. The PowerPoints and stuff will be a lot bigger. Okay. Pre-calculus, as the name suggests, consists of topics from algebra and trigonometry, but this is the algebra part, that form the foundation of calculus. Course emphasizes, and this is important, the algebra of functions. Hang on to that idea. Including polynomial functions, rational functions, exponential functions, and logarithmic functions. The course also covers systems of equations and inequalities and quadratic inequalities. Now that last sentence we hardly ever will get there, okay? We're going to focus on the functions part, okay? Prerequisite here, math has a prerequisite, and it has all this blah, blah, blah there for high school. The main thing is what you scored on your ACT, your placement test, or if you passed with a C or higher intermediate college algebra, which is Math 100. So all of you in the right place? All right, good deal. Excellent. Okay, prerequisites, there's none. The textbook, I wish I had one to show you. Do you have one? Okay, it looks like that. Okay, it's pre-calculus. What edition is it? Is which? 10th. Okay, I wanted to know if I had it right. I wish I could help you. Yeah, you got it. Okay. 10th edition. The author is Ron Larson. Now, okay, generally, and let me go and say this. The publisher is Brooks Cole Cengage Learning. Now, generally, I don't care for Cengage books, but excuse me. When I ran into Ron Larson, he's one of the best authors I've seen. Period. Okay. I'm going to come around if I can manage a way to get there. Okay. I would try to step above that, but I don't want to. I strain my knee. Here's the reason I say he's so good. There is a free website that he provides called calcchat.com. It'll be on the front of your book. And when I give assignments, they have exercises at the end of every section. I'll give the odd number exercises for probably about 3 reasons. Number one, the answers to the odd numbers are in the back of the book. Okay? So when I give the homework assignment, try to do them, check the answers. If you didn't get the right answers, go to calcchat.com. Free website. And all the odd number exercises are worked out there and explained. Okay? Now, some of those are carried a little further with more explanation and stuff. Those are at calcview.com. Another free website. Okay? And in addition to both of those, he provides yet a third free website called LarsonPrecalculus.com. And you'll see it in the book. When you get the books, you'll see that. 3 free websites that give you all the support you could possibly need. Free. You don't have to have a login. I don't have to set up an account for you. They're there. Even people who haven't bought the book, they can go there and do that. So you're in great shape with that. So that's why I like Ron Larson. Now we're using his calculus book too. He has all that in the calculus too. Okay, also, and it's a 2018, the 10th edition is 2018. That means it's not going to be, what do they call it, re-edited or anything for at least another 2 or 3 years. So you're good to go. And probably will be able to sell your book back if you want. Well, we'll get to that in just a second. Okay. Please bring paper, pencil, graph paper, pencils to class. If you prefer ink, it's fine with me. It's just that when here's confession time. When I do math, as you'll soon learn, I tend to make errors. So I prefer doing math in pencil, but you're welcome to use whatever you want, okay? You don't have to have the graph paper, but please have some type of paper because we'll be doing things in class every day. Not today, but every day, okay? Now, let me say a little bit more about the, and here's this, it says software. You can have a graphing calculator if you want it. You aren't going to need it necessarily, but you will find it handy if you want to get it. If you're going to go on and take pre-calculus trig, it'll be a little handier then, but it's, again, not necessary. And then in calculus, if you, hopefully most of you will be going, yes, to calculus. If you do, it might be useful there too. Now, here is the place where I ran out of time last night. I'm supposed to have a whole 2 or 3 pages following this talking about Cengage Unlimited. Has anyone heard about that yet? Okay, you have. Some people have. Okay, here's what that is. This publisher, the first publisher to do it, we expect other publishers to follow, but because book prices were getting so high, and frankly, this publisher was the leader in raising prices. That's one reason I didn't like them. They were always overpriced. But they have come up with this marketing scheme. Did I say that? Okay. That is to lure people in. And what it is, for $119 a term, you can use any Cengage book, get access to any Cengage book they have. Okay? Are these people waiting on this question? Are you waiting on this question? Oh, okay. That's okay. I thought there was some of my students that were scared to come in and see me. Okay. Why would that be? Okay. So for $119, you get, it's not a paper book like that one. It's an ebook. Okay? Now, if you want a paper book like that, once you paid the $119 for an additional $7.99, $8, you can get a paper copy. But it's only on loan for that one term. It's a rental for that one term. So if you like paper copy, you can get that too for just $8 more. And then, but you can do any ebook. If you, someone taking any other course, name a course. Say again, English? English 101? Okay, I'm pretty sure that's got a Cengage book. Someone said something else. Literature. I'm not sure about literature. It is Cengage, okay. Anyone else? Say again? Humanities. I think it is Cengage, or is it? You know? Okay. You haven't been to that class yet. So bunches of the classes, most psychology classes, child development classes, most of the physics classes, you know, just tons, all the chemistry classes. I can't think how many, some of the biology classes. So $119 covers every one that you have this term. But it won't cover it for next term. Say if you're taking trig next term, it's another $119. But they have a 2-term thing with a discount, so if you're sure you're coming back next term, it's like $179 for 2 terms. And then for 2 years, you can even get a little bit more discount. If you're going to be here for 2 years, you know that, then every Cengage book you need for those 2 years, one time you pay this, you got it covered for, I think it's 4 terms, but I don't know. But you can check at the bookstore. They have all the information down there, or they should. If they don't, I'll have it in your syllabus whenever I can get to do it. Okay. So that was the Cengage advertisement. Okay. Now, let's move on. All right. Now, this, I think, they tell us we can't change this this thing on Blackboard. I'm going to change it. The first sentence makes no sense. All courses must use Blackboard to gain access to vital course information. That seems like it should be all students, doesn't it? The course doesn't gain that, it's the student. Okay, such as the syllabus, the handouts, PowerPoint shows, all that kind of stuff. Does everyone know how to use Blackboard? Or are some of you do and don't know? Anyone never used Blackboard? Okay. I wish I could say it's a real simple package to use. It's not that bad to use. Have you gotten an email address yet? Is it working yet? I don't think so. Is anyone that's gotten the email address that's not working for email, have you tried it on Blackboard? Did it work on Blackboard? Okay, so Blackboard's working. Same thing you have for email, it'll work on Blackboard. That's your login. And once you get there, then you have to figure out, and you see, I only see the instructor side, I don't see the student side. But are you in orientation? Okay, they'll go over this, I'm pretty sure, everything then. But you can figure out, y'all are young, you've grown up with computers, electronics, you'll figure it out pretty easily, okay? But go to courses, okay, and then courses, then go to Math 112. And when you get to Math 112, I wish I were over there. Pretend I'm over there, okay. In the upper left corner, there's a whole string of blue tabs, or at least on the instructor side, they're blue. They even have to scroll down to see all of them. Somewhere near the bottom of that first thing, there's a silly little name that's called Course Handouts and More, exclamation point. Doesn't that sound exciting? It used to say content. That was so clear, but it says Course Handouts and More, okay? That's where I'll put your syllabus once I've got it corrected. I've not got it there yet because it's not correct yet, okay? That's where I'll put your research paper instructions. Yes, you got a research paper. Glad to hear, right, okay? So I'll have those instructions. We probably won't get to them today, but we'll get to them first thing next time, okay? That's where I'll put my locator card, showing when I'm in class, when I'm not in class, when I'm on campus, when I'm off campus, which campus I'm on, that kind of stuff, okay? I'll also put all the PowerPoints we'll possibly use this term. Probably some we won't even get to, but I'll put them all under course handouts and more. Exclamation point. Okay, then I will put now, periodically I'll run across a website and I'll say, hey, that sounds pretty good for the course. But more often, I have students finding websites. They say, hey, this is really good stuff. So I put a number of them, maybe 5, 6 on there. So those will be under that same website. And then at the very bottom, usually, I'll have one that's called Math 112 YouTube Videos. And that's where this thing is going. Okay? It's not set up yet, but as soon as I can get it set up, that's where it'll be. You can go back and see any video from this course. Now, not only that, okay, I use that same playlist in YouTube every term. So all the ones from last term are right in there right now. Okay, I don't have the link for it, but as soon as I get it, you can see them all. So you can look ahead to see things we're going to do. We were using this book before, so everything will be very, very similar. Okay, but here's why I'm saying this. YouTube loads from the bottom. So to get to this course, go down the list and pick up at the bottom. Okay, this today is will be called syllabus, though we might do a few other things, but not much. Okay, and then from then on, it'll be by section number, section 4.3 or whatever, we're doing that day. Okay, so that's where, so your syllabus will be there under that. Handouts, usually if I have a handout, I'll hand it out to you, so I don't usually put them on Blackboard. PowerPoint shows, like I just said, the static version will be there, but guess what? This laptop has a ionizing pen, so I can actually write on the screen, so when I'm using the PowerPoints, they'll have the problem given, and then you will help me solve the problem, and it'll all be written on the screen, and then we'll go back and see how the book did it, see if it was a different way, and give you a couple of different ways to look at it, or whatever. So the PowerPoints will also be on the YouTube videos, but that will be in dynamic form. You can hear me talk about it, maybe even your answers. You can see me writing on it. Okay, all that will be there under, so the PowerPoints will be on Blackboard in 2 places, under class handouts and more, and also under the YouTube videos, which you get through Blackboard. Okay. Activities. Sometimes the school posts things on that, so read that. I don't usually do that. Assignments. I will put your research paper assignment out there. I've already said that. But also, I'm not going to type out every day, here's what your assignments are. But every day at the end of a section or at the end of the class, I'll say, okay, here are the homework assignments for this section or that we got done today. There'll always be the odd number, and I'll give you those to choose from. So many of these, so many of these, so many of those. So you'll be able to hear them on the YouTube video. They won't going to be typed out anywhere on Blackboard, but they will be on Blackboard, technically. Okay? Announcements, most of the time I'm not going to have any announcements. Okay? But the school sometimes posts announcements. If I do, something does come up, I'll put it out there. I do not like the next statement at all. Failure to use Blackboard will severely damage your ability to pass the course. Isn't that so negative? If I were allowed to change it, I would say the proper use of Blackboard could greatly enhance your ability to do well in the course. Isn't that a lot more positive? I think closer to reality, too. And then I don't care for the third tendency. I don't have much about this, do I? Okay, students should always check the Blackboard announcements and task pages prior to coming to class. Why would that sentence be in there? Say again? In case class is canceled. So that's sort of setting you up expecting the class to be canceled. Guess what, folks? I'm not ever going to cancel a class if I can possibly help it. Like I said, I probably am running a low-grade fever today. I don't think I'm contagious. I'm going to be here if I possibly can. Now, I do know one Tuesday morning in October. I don't know which one it is now. I do have a doctor's appointment. Okay, I told you already. My hematologist only sees patients on Tuesday mornings. So I have an appointment with him one Tuesday morning. Now, if it's late in the morning, this class will still meet. If it's early in the morning, it won't meet. But I'll let you know in plenty of time. Okay? So that's the only one I know right now it's going to be canceled. Now, I can't see into the future and know if I'm going to get sick or not. Hopefully not. I try to be here every day. So I don't like them suggesting. You better check, because in case you cancel class. Because guess what? It's going to have to be almost an emergency for me to cancel a class. And if it's an emergency, I'm going to say, oh, Doc, could you give me a computer so I can put that? No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, so I'll call somebody and they'll let you know. All right, let's look at the, oh boy. Let's go through these as quickly as possible. The core student learning outcomes. Okay. Students will identify, analyze, graph, transform, and combine functions to determine the inverse functions if they exist. That's chapter 1. Remember the algebra of functions. That's the main thing in this course. That's chapter 1. Okay. We'll have a quiz about midway through the chapter. That's up to 1.3, and then we'll have a test up to 1.6. Students will divide and find zeros for polynomial functions. Remember, including polynomial functions. Okay. And work with complex numbers. That's chapter 2, the first part, 2, 1 through 5. Students will find domains and asymptotes of rational functions and analyze their graphs. That's 2.6. So those two go under chapter 2. At 2.3, we'll have a quiz. After 2.6, you'll have a test. The quizzes will be take-home. The test will be in class. Okay? Oh, let me say this too. I'll say it again in time. Every test, including the final exam, you can have a formula and equation sheet. Whatever you want to write on a single piece of paper, front and back, as tiny as your microscope will allow you to write, okay, you can have whatever you want on a piece of paper. Okay? Because in my second, front and back. I'm sorry, front and back? Yes, front and back. And standard size paper. No, nothing like that. Okay. All right. And the reason for this is, if you were working for me, I don't want you memorizing formulas and equations. If you have to run across something and you're going to use, look it up and make sure you got the signs right. Make sure you got it right. Math is not about memorization. It's about using the tools that you have. Okay? So that's why I want you to bring that in. Otherwise, panic city, so right now. And here's, I'll just give you a hint of why I do this. When I was an undergraduate, I seldom had a professor who allowed something like this. In fact, it was unheard of in my mind. But I did, in my upper level classes, have a couple who started doing it. Oh boy, that night before the test, I was there picking out the most important thing, writing them down, organizing them, so I could read them, and stuff, just thinking through those things. And then the next day in the test, I basically forgot to look at it because I found out that's the very best study tool that I ever did. Not that I needed it to look at, because by the time I had written it down, organized and stuff, man, I had gotten it so organized in my mind, I didn't even have to look at the piece of paper. So I would suggest to you, for every test you've ever taken any subject, do a formula and equation sheet. The night before, maybe, or take more time if you need it. If they don't allow it, don't take it as a test, but it will be the best study guide, best study technique I think you'll ever find. It was for me anyway. Okay. So anyway, the test you can bring the formula and equation sheet. The quizzes are take homes. Whatever. How are we doing? 9:45. How sad. Okay. Say it with no grin on your face. No. Okay. All right. I'll try to get the syllabus. You've seen most of it. I'll try to get it updated and complete. And remind me next time, we'll start with the research paper instructions. I may go over a few more things on the syllabus, but we'll do that. And we'll be here, as far as I know, 2:05. Sorry that we lost a lot of the class today. Ryan, yes, okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So on August 30th, me and my brother won't be here from San Antonio to see our husband graduate.
Oh, wow.
Military school.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, well, I'll be recording everything on here, so you'll be able to follow it.
okay, sweet.
All right.
To make sure.
Ah, I've seen you in the hall before.
Yeah, I mean, not the orientation, so
Uh-huh.
like on the college and all that.
Oh, fantastic. What's your name again?
Dimitri.
Dimitri. Okay, got it. Okay.
Also, I'm telling you, I'm also going to be taking your physical science class later on today.
Today, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, I think it starts at 1:15, not 12:15, so I had that time wrong. I said, what is wrong with this picture? And you must be really lazy. Your next class is right in here, huh? Boy, can you imagine that? That's why we had to move here, because of her, She just wanted to be lazy. Okay. Okay, we'll see you this afternoon. All right, I got to get down to my other class. It's back in that room. All right. All right. Looks like it's going to be a great class. All right, see you Thursday. Y'all can come on in. I'll get out of here soon. Not soon enough, you probably said, but I didn't hear it. Okay. It's a little tight. We had to expand.
You're good.
No, I'm not good, but it's a little tight. Okay, never mind. I'm no good.
You can't be no good if you're teaching a class here.
What's that?
You can't be no good if you're teaching a class here.
Oh boy, someone's brainwashed her. I mean, no. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. All right. I need to turn that off, don't I? Where is the yes button?
It's highlighted.
There it goes. Yeah. All right. Okay, unfortunately, I will be back to get my next load, but I'm going to do it in 2 loads. Hey, howdy. You young whippersnappers. Okay, no. Okay, he looks lost again.
Yeah, I know you said everybody's been asking you
Yeah,
stuff.
that's all right.
Isn't 157 downstairs?
157? No, this way.
It's this way?
Yeah, yeah. This building, the numbering is so bizarre.
Yeah, that's what I
So bizarre.
look on the wall.
You see, we're coming up on this line in the floor here.
Mhm.
I want you to notice the number of this room, 200. Okay? We cross this line, and I want you to notice the number on that classroom. 251. That makes sense, doesn't it?
No,
Yeah.
don't.
Hey, don't say no. Okay. Oh, don't be negative. Okay. Now, I'll show you how to get where you need next. Okay. All right. This is 257. So if you go down this half flight of stairs, go down one more flight, and then come up a half flight, the room right under here is 157. Okay, what is it? 246? CIS, computer science?
That was 157 microcomputer application.
Yeah, microcomputer application, 246.
I'll see
All right,
you
good deal.
Thursday.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Same guys, yeah.
Here for Trig? All right, excellent. I've got to move all my stuff because I just got out of 112, but we had, well, I have 38 students in the class. This one only holds 30, so I had to move the class. So every day I'll be coming from down the hall. Now, the only time that's going to be a real big problem will be test day for them, because I may not be able to get out right away, but not going to have that many big in-class texts. They have quizzes. Oh, I just realized I didn't turn off my recording, so we just recorded off.